What's going on, guys? What's going on, Chai Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, we know that Caitlin Clark came back from her injury and she had a 32-point performance against the Liberty. And I'm going to say this. I do think she can put her team back in the playoffs because the only two teams that are only have one loss is the Liberty and Minnesota Lynx. And those are two good teams that made the championship last year. Like you do have the Aces, you do have the Aces, you do have the Fever, you do have the Dream. Those are four like contender teams that are in the W right now. That I think that can win a championship. Because when we look at the players in the Chicago Sky, when we look at Caitlin Clark's performance, I think every WNBA fan, including myself, is very surprised that Caitlin Clark went off for 32. Like, without her being out so many games, it's like the WNBA really miss Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark brings a lot of fans and a lot of views to the W. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark won Rookie of the Year last year. Let's just get that out straight. She was in the conversation for MVP last year and still in the conversation for MVP this year. She have taken her game to another level. To another level where there are similarities where we're seeing now Caitlin Clark just get better and better every single year because we're going to see Caitlin Clark get better. We're going to see Caitlin Clark score 32 or 40 or 50 in a game. We're going to see her hit her logo shots. We're going to see her get to the playoffs. The Fever, on one hand, are really a good team. They're a good team. We can't count out the Fever. Because if you count out the Fever, that means you're counting out Caitlin Clark. That means everybody, I'm not counting out Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark is an amazing player. Let me just get that straight out. And for the fact is that when we see Caitlin Clark on the court, when we see Aja Wilson, a Brianna Stewart, a Angel Reese, we know those players are going to go and ball out. But when we don't see those type of players not out there or injured or something, we hope that they come back 100% better. We hope that we will see those players either in the playoffs or in the regular season. At some point, we're going to have to look back at the WNBA players scoring 32, scoring 40, 50, 60 points, and break records and say, hey, since Anybody is sleeping on the WNBA. Everybody needs to know that Caitlin Clark is back. That 32-point performance. Nobody thought she would go off for 32. Nobody thought that she would go off for 32 points. Nobody. Against a championship team that has Brianna Stewart and a lot of good players. Like the Fever could make the playoffs again this year, and she could lead her team to the championship. I definitely think Caitlin Clark can lead her team to a championship because Caitlin Clark has that factor, has that good energy, has that factor, can shoot the easy money bucket. She has it in her game. We've seen Caitlin Clark do something similar. We've seen her win Rookie of the Year last year. We've seen her be in fourth last year in MVP. She's going to be in the conversation for MVP again. Are we doubting Caitlin Clark because are we saying Caitlin Clark isn't making a factor or doubting Caitlin Clark? I'm definitely not doubting Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark is an amazing player. But the thing is, we cannot say Caitlin Clark coming back with a 32-point performance, say that, well, I don't know, this is just another game for Caitlin. That is what some will think. Some will think that this is just another game for Caitlin, that she's hitting shots. This isn't like a game for Caitlin Clark that she can just come back and win a game and win a game like this. Because if she did that, don't you think other teams would D up on Caitlin Clark? Because the Liberty, I am saying this, the Liberty are a good team. They won the championship last year. You just can't say that with Caitlin Clark, there isn't a factor where she's going to go off for 32, 40. Because she's going to lead her team to a championship. I believe that she's probably going to win 2 championships after this 32-point performance. Because we can say without a doubt that, yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the best 3-point shooters in the WNBA. We can say that, but when we look at it, we could also say that this game had to be an amazing game. It had to be close. It had to be something sort of a game where you have to win a game here to say, I am back. And that is what Caitlin Clark said. She said, I know you guys, I know that I know this team that been on a 9-0 record. I am back. That is what she proved. She said, I am back. And this wasn't like just any 32 performance. This was an easy money bucket performance. Man, like, what else can you say? Caitlin Clark just, if somehow, some way, Caitlin Clark wins a championship this year, we're going to look back at her 32-point game and say that was probably the most greatest game that we've seen from Caitlin Clark. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there and stay blessed.